Nestled in the northwest corner of Seattle, bordering Greenwood to the west and Ballard to the north, lies Crown Hill. Crown Hill is a cozy neighborhood with a rich and storied past. From its early days as a rural outpost to its current status as a thriving community, Crown Hill's history is a tapestry of transformation and growth. Let's explore the evolution of Crown Hill and its significance in Seattle's broader city narrative. To the common Washingtonian, Crown Hill might be one of the lesser-known boroughs of the city. Ballard can sometimes be used as a moniker for the entire North Seattle west of I-5. But boroughs like Crown Hill were not incorporated into Seattle until the 1950s, almost 70 years after Ballard. This created small pockets forming around transportation and other public amenities like schools, a cemetery, or even a golf course. Even though I am making a case for these places as separate boroughs, you cannot tell the story of Crown Hill without starting in Ballard. By 1902, Ballard reached a population of well over 10,000 people. G.W. Toup, along with 59 other citizens, petitioned the city council for a 10-acre cemetery north of the city limits. That cemetery, still in place today, started a slow but gradual growth period for the area around it. By 1907, Ballard's population almost doubled. Around this time, Ballard ran into problems with water distribution, so Seattle annexed the city with the promise of clean water. This brought around 6,000 new students into the Seattle school system from the greater Seattle area. For Crown Hill, a contract was awarded to Newton Gahn, who designed the Whittier School at the southeast corner of what is now 13th Avenue Northwest and 75th Street. Whittier was a 12-room, 2-story brick building named after John Greenleaf Whittier, a 19th century poet, author, and abolitionist. The school opened in 1908 and immediately enrolled 150 students from all over North Seattle. 10 years later, there would be over 600 students, multiple new portable buildings to accommodate the growth, and an entire new brick building designed by Floyd A. Naramore, built in 1927. The Whittier building lasted all the way until 1998, when it was demolished and replaced with the current Whittier building, which incorporated a stained glass window and keystone from the original 1928 building. The former president of the Ballard Mill, Charles W. Stimson, held extensive timber and real estate interests in Washington and Oregon. The Stimson family was and still is a powerhouse in the lumber industry. One of those holdings was a tract along the Crown Hill Cemetery's western boundary. Stimson was intentionally holding on to the tract in order to find the right buyer or the right idea. Stimson was an avid golfer and a member of the Seattle Golf and Country Club, located just a couple miles to the north. So it made sense when in 1926 he leased the land to developers and they began creating the Olympic Golf Course, opening in 1927. It was an immediate hit, starting as a public course and then transitioning to club status just 2 years later. Although the club did have success, in 1953 the doors closed and surveyors began to plot what would become the Olympic Manor. Olympic Manor is a neighborhood in Crown Hill, similar to the upscale Blue Ridge community to the west, where the plots were made in a creative way, allowing roads to follow the contour of the land, adding a unique feel to the neighborhood. Every Christmas holiday, many Seattleites love to make the trip out to Olympic Manor and see the massive light displays and intricate Yuletides. Crown Hill has always been a blue-collar, low-income area. Many of the residents worked the docks in Ballard or were sawmill workers. Today, Crown Hill has gone through quite a bit of gentrification. Most of the single-family homes along Holman have replaced with sleek-looking, skinny homes. Older homes are being restored and preserved as well, but there has been a noticeable change in demographic, similar to that of the greater professional change in Seattle. Less sawmill workers, more tech workers. Dick's Burgers in the Crown Hill Park are just a few highlights of Crown Hill. The Crown Hill Dick's was opened in 1960 and is one of the original 3 Dick's restaurants. Dick's is a Seattle staple and a must-try if you are visiting. What was once a wild and somewhat forgotten suburb of the city, Crown Hill has kept its low profile but turned into a nice little borough in the greater Seattle system. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a little something about Seattle.